Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Minneapolis, Minnesota. We are here at the Target Center for the 2012 United Healthcare U.S. Open Racquetball Championship. My name's Sean Royster, alongside the greatest player of all time, said by many, Sudsy Monchik.
Well, I'm glad you said that, Sean. Thank you.
Sudsy, amazing match here. These two players, Crowther, Carson, have played many times. They played through the juniors. They played on the Pro Tour 25, 30 times. You probably know the number.
I do.
What is that number?
I do. Rocky's actually 25-1 against Chris in their careers on the Pro Tour.
25 wins and 1 loss.
That's correct, but the interesting thing and what I'm excited about this match is that over the last 2 matches, it's been real tight, and Chris actually beat him a year ago in Davison, Michigan in 2011, and then this year in January in New York, they went 5 games, and Chris played him real tough, so it seems like, Chris is figuring out how to actually go at Rocky, and maybe, this should be a pretty good match. Chris told me he's feeling great, and we'll see what happens.
Well, it's going to be an exciting one, ladies and gentlemen. When we get back here, it's the semifinals. Carson, Crowther. Stay tuned. You see what's going on here, ladies and gentlemen? This is the United Healthcare 2012 U.S. Open Racquetball Championship. The crowd's going crazy. It's the semifinals. It is going to be an amazing show. You are not going to believe what you're about to see. Professional racquetball when we get back here in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Are you guys ready? Welcome everybody to Minneapolis. We are here at the Target Center where lots of sporting events have been going on here. The UFC, plenty of concerts, but today it's the best racquetball players in the world come together for the 2012 U.S. Open Racquetball Championship, brought to you by United Healthcare. All right, standing down here courtside with the #2 player in the world, Carson. Rocky, we've had this conversation before. Semifinals. You think about some of the shots you're going to be executing against a guy like Chris with the long reach. He's 6'7", I think he is. Anything different for that?
I just got to come out ready to play from the beginning all the way to the end. It could be, it could be a 2.5-hour match, and I got to be ready to, play the whole time, not just come out there and hit a few shots.
All right, cool. We're ready for a great match. Good luck, Rock.
I'm looking forward to it. Thanks.
Standing courtside with Crowther. It's the semifinals. Chris, you played Rocky for many years. You played him in juniors. You played him on the Pro Tour. How do you feel in this match? Anything different going on for you?
Not really. Just go out and play my game and just play it 1 point at a time and play as hard as I can. Yeah,
you have a tendency to crush it. You go out there with intensity, just hit the ball as hard as you can. It seems like, is that kind of the game plan? You got to just fire against this guy?
No, not necessarily. It's just to stay calm and not overhit and just execute the shots, whether it's a hard shot or a easy shot. Just play smart and do my best.
You've had a great road to get to this point. It seems like you've had a pretty strong game plan coming into this tournament. Are you going to stick with that, or do you have anything different against Rocky, like shots that we can look for, stuff like that?
Yeah, no, I'm just going to mix it up and see what's working, and if something's not, I'll switch it up and just see what happens. You never know when you go out there, so anything can happen.
Yeah, Chris, you got a lot of fans here, man. It's going to be great to watch you play, so we're excited to see you in the semis.
Yeah, I'm excited to play. Thanks, Sean.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome from Riverside, California, from player ranked #6 in the world,
the Target Center here in Minneapolis, Minnesota. The crowd is loving it. These racquetball fans are going crazy because it's the semifinals and it's the Grand Slam of all tournaments. Sudsy, are you excited?
I'm excited. The energy in here, I could feel it. I'm loving it. The crowd's going nuts, and we haven't even gotten going yet.
All right, getting started here. Chris Crowther won the toss. And let's see if Chris can bring some heat. There's a lot of people who say that Chris is the guy to put up a fight against Rocky, against Kane, because he's got the firepower. He's aggressive. He can get a little mean out there, and that's what I think you need to win these matches.
Yeah, Chris is real edgy when he's out there. He's pretty intense, and quite frankly, look at the size of him. He's an intimidating force.
That ball skipped. To you players at home who've never seen racquetball, and I know a lot of you tennis players who actually know racquetball, this is the sport that messes up your tennis swing. So you know what we're talking about. So I'm going to try to help you understand. Sudsy will help you as well with the rules. That last ball skipped, which means it hit the ground first. So we'll do our best to help you out with these rules. We got cameras covering this class court all over the place. So these are games to 11 in the pro division. It's a best 3 out of 5, win by 2. And there are now 2 serves, which is a new rule that was implemented. It, for a long time, has been 1 serve. Now they got a fault serve. How do you feel about that change in the rule?
Well, it's interesting. You know, like in tennis, you get 2 serves. And racquetball, for many years on the Pro Tour, we played with 1 serve, so we didn't get that second chance. So a lot of us actually had to expertise or become an expert in hitting a drive serve and that first aggressive ace serve. You know, as far as a rule change, I think it's a pretty good thing. I think, you know, they could be more aggressive and know that there's a little bit more room for error.
All tied up here, 1-1 in game 1. Again, best of a series of 5. First one to get 3 games is the winner, and they'll move on to the finals. Just skipped, hit the ground first.
Those are the shots Chris cannot miss. He cannot afford to skip those. You know, and give those points to Rocky. That's a setup. He gets the serve back. Everything changes. But to win these matches, Chris needs to hit those shots.
Chris looking for a hinder there, and the referee, Charlie Pratt, is not giving him that call. And you hear Chris complaining about it. Another thing that's cool about the production here is that you've got the mics on the players. So you should be able to hear some grunting and some arguing with the ref and potentially with each other if a fight breaks out.
Yeah, there's usually a lot of jawing going on out there. You're not going to be able to keep it under your breath, though, because these mics are pretty intense.
Yeah. Chris Crowther in the front, standing 6'7", came into this tournament ranked number 6. Rocky in the back. Rocky Carson ranked number 2 in the world.
Chris actually has a tennis frame, 6'7". He got crossed up there, Chris. He was expecting the ball to go one way, it went the other. And clearly that's what it made. That's why it looked like he almost tripped over his feet.
Rocky Carson, what do you think of this serve? I like Rocky's got different cut serves. The other thing you need to know about Rocky Carson is he's the best in the world at the outdoor game of racquetball. Outdoor is played much differently because there's no back wall. Let's see how this results here. Oh, nice skip ball. Why I mentioned the outdoor game is because you'll see Rocky do some different things in this court where he'll step up and take balls out of the air, he'll cut balls off, he'll stand a little closer to the front wall than the normal indoor player.
Yeah, it's interesting because, you know, he takes that outdoor game style and brings it in the indoor, so it actually messes up the opponent a little bit. You know, it's different. It's not your traditional how you learn to play racquetball. You know, when you said something about those serves, those cut serves in this glass on this fishbowl racquetball court, it's tough to see sometimes. So you might see the players every now and then lose the ball in the glass.
It's a slugfest out there. I love how close they're playing.
Yeah, I like that. I like, you know, they're pretty tight. They're affecting each other's follow-throughs and swings. But what I really like so far is what you said. It's a slugfest. They're banging away. They're going at it. They're trying to hit the ball harder and harder at each other.
It's another difference about the older game, meaning how it got started, 70s, 80s. A lot of ceiling balls, a lot of passes. This is really turned with the change in the rackets. A lot of power. These guys are just going out there and swinging as hard as they can. Ball's going near 200 miles an hour. It's a whole different game, the modern game of racquetball.
Oh yeah, it's turned into, I mean, racquetball's power, power, power. How hard can I hit it? You know, and what makes the best players in the world are they hit the ball the hardest, but they also have the most control. So it's pretty impressive when you watch it live, and hopefully you guys really can tell at home on the tennis channel what's going on right here. Just a little bit lazy right there by the big crippler. Didn't really move his feet and move to the ball.
Rocky Carson serving another Z serve, sticking with that serve.
Side up. 1-4.
Crispin stuck at 1 here for a few exchanges, Suds.
Yeah, I think both players, you know, you're trying to get comfortable and get a good feel for the court and the crowd, and, you know, the way the lighting is today, especially, you know, with all the lights from the production here. It's a little bit different. They got the microphone in the back, so they're getting used to the play. And, you know, you'll see it'll usually start slow, but then you'll see some sort of a momentum swing. And, I mean, right now, Rocky's obviously the more comfortable player, leading 4-1 here.
You know, you've played on this stage many times with many U.S. Open titles. That's got to be a little different with the pressure, the crowd, the TV, the lights, the stadium court. It's different because you go to clubs, you know, go to a pro stop in Des Moines or something. You know, you're playing on a standard racquetball court with some overhead viewing and things. This is a different environment to play racquetball in.
Totally. It's you know, it's a Super Bowl of racquetball. It's the Wimbledon of racquetball. And, you know, when we come out here to the U.S. Open, what I always said is it's simple. It's so easy to play as hard as you possibly can and leave it all out there. I mean, you should do that anyway. But going to a timeout.
Crowther's going to take a timeout. We're going to do the same here. And we'll be right back for more exciting action here at the United Healthcare U.S. Open Racquetball Championship. It was almost 50 years ago when Danny Thomas had a dream of creating a unique research hospital devoted to curing catastrophic diseases in children. More than just a treatment facility, this would be a research center for children from all parts of the world. St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital has always played a big part in the sport of racquetball. Every year, the players take time out to go over and visit these children. U.S. Open Racquetball Championships has donated now over $100,000 to St. Jude's. This helps in advancing the research and treatment for these brave children. Not only is this great for the kids to meet these professional athletes, but it's also a reminder to the players and all of us, truly, what real strength and courage is all about. Welcome back to the Target Center, right in the middle here of the semifinals of the Pro Division of the United Healthcare United States Open Racquetball Championship. I got to tell you, I mean, I haven't asked you the question here yet, Sudsy, but who do you think wins this match? And then going on into the finals, who do you take here?
Yeah, in this first semifinal show, you know, it's pretty easy. I do think Rocky's obviously clearly the heavy favorite with a record of 25-1 against Chris all time. I like Rocky to win this. I think Rocky mentally and physically is in a good place. Physically is probably the most fit pro we have out here. Chris is ranked number 6 in the world. I know one of his goals is to finish this year in the top 4, and this certainly would escalate him to jump into that top 4. But I still got to go with Rocky. Rocky has won this event before. He has more experience from bright lights, big city type atmosphere. And right now he's in total control.
You know, it's fun to watch these two players play because they just take huge swings. And Crowther, especially on that serve, you just see him take such a huge amount of effort to get that drive serve over that second line. Comes Rocky with a drive serve.
Rocky's moving great right now. If you guys can notice this at home on the tennis channel, it almost looks like Rocky, his effort isn't there, but it's because he's moving so well that he's like gliding around the court.
Most players, when they're in the zone or just playing in the flow, it just looks effortless for them.
He really is moving well, Rocky, out here.
Wow, tough shot to hit. His backhand, he was jammed over on the forehand side on that 3-wall shot, and he actually took a backhand and ripped it in the left corner.
Yeah, I think Rocky was fooled a little bit because that probably wasn't the smartest shot to take right there, but he hit it, rolled it, and worked out. Chris can't seem to put the ball away. You know, he's leaving the ball up, but staying up in center court, and Rocky's all over it.
Yeah, I asked both players about specific game plan. You know, you come into these matches, are you just coming in to play your normal game, or you actually have a different game plan against each other? And you can kind of see Rocky executing a very specific game plan against Chris, which has obviously worked for him in the past with that record you talk about. But I'm not seeing a game plan out of Chris unless he's just missing, and that's what's clouding
Chris,
what I'm seeing.
you know, I spoke to Chris about it a little bit, and Chris's game plan is pretty much the same approach as always. Just bring it, hit the ball hard, try to kill the ball. He says every now and then he gets speeds up in his mind, so he tries to slow things down a little bit. But yeah, I think Rocky's executing his game plan. He sticks to it. Rocky has a great coach in Fran Davis. Chris is coached now by Tom Travers, another excellent clinician in our sport.
Nice
Great
get
guy.
by Rocky.
Yeah, what's happening is that Chris is trying to go straight in, and he's not able to pass Rocky. Even though Chris hits the ball as hard or harder than anybody on tour right now, he can't get it by Rocky. So he's going to have to either kill it or maybe start looking to pinch a little bit.
So Chris Crowther has the serve now. Let's see if he can actually put some points on the board. I think he's going to switch up his serve from bringing heat to a lob serve to see if that becomes effective. Put Rocky up against the right side glass. See, he got a setup. He got a shot off the back wall. He just missed.
Well, you know what, though? That's the pressure that Rocky's putting on him. Like I said, he's trying to blow the ball by Rocky, and he can't get it by him. So he's gonna lower his target zone on the front wall. So now your margin for error is so small, and he skipped that by about a half an inch, maybe.
Short serve, just before that second solid line. That's the short line. If it hits any part of that line, it is a short serve. It's got to get completely over.
Question those calls.
Yeah, Chris is all flustered right now. I think the moment has him a little bit, and I can tell you this too, though. I mean, these guys, like I said, they're 25-1. The record of 25-1. If Rocky goes out here and gives him a Twinkie, what we call in racquetball, 11-1, this could be a quick match.
We're going to take a break here. We'll be right back at the Target Center for the United Healthcare U.S. Open Racquetball Championship.
That one worked.
Didn't skip that.
Nope.
Welcome back. Still in the semifinals. Still in game one. Sudsy 9-1. Rocky dominating.
He looks great. He's moving great. He hasn't missed any shots, really. And Chris is completely off balance. Rocky's getting to any ball that's up right now.
See that? Yeah, you're right. He's just making a move. And he's not hitting spectacular shots, Rocky. He's just getting everything. So when Chris puts a ton of effort into a shot that he thinks is going to finish the rally, Rocky's there, puts it right back up, makes him shoot again, and eventually he misses.
And that's what's so tough about Rocky. The rally is never over until you're actually in the service box serving, because he seems to be able to get everything.
So this is game point. And that's game one for Rocky Carson. Absolutely controlling it so far. We expect to see more out of Chris Crowther. I don't think he is the type to just lay down and give up here. So, what you saw there was a blowout in game one, but I don't think it's over, Suds. I think when we get back here for game two, it should be a good fight.
Chris will put up a fight, no doubt about it.
We'll be right back for more semifinal action here for the United Healthcare U.S. Open Racquetball Championship. Welcome back, everybody. Crowd's still into this. It's the semifinals. And I'm telling you, the crowd loves this because it's a big show. They're all pulling for a great match. I know nobody wants to see a blowout. So I think at the end of the day, now's the time for Chris to step on the gas and get into this match.
He's got to feed off that crowd's energy that they're trying to throw out there to him and really try to take it to Rocky here early in game two. You don't want to see a big lead by Rocky here in game two if you're a Crowther fan.
And he starts off with an ace in the left corner. That's
an ace serve, and just like in tennis, an ace serve is defined in racquetball that if the opponent doesn't touch it.
Another short serve. Rocky up 1-0 in game two and has a 1-0 lead in the series. I thought Rocky was going to take a racket to the back, and then he jumped about as high as he could jump.
I think he jumped over that. He definitely would have dunked the basketball on that one. But take a look at that on replay. I'm pretty sure Chris swung under him. Chris trying to switch it up here, Sean, going with the lob serves. I don't necessarily agree with it. I think he needs to
still bring the firepower.
Just bring it. Yeah, he's got to be more aggressive here.
Yeah, that's not going to work. I mean, I think he's trying to play off this glass and this fishbowl where he thinks that the ball, if he sucks it up against that glass, wallpaper style.
It would against somebody that hasn't been out there as much as Rocky.
Right.
You know, Rocky's been out there so much. He knows how to play the glass as well.
Ooh. Put a hand on him there.
Rocky playing real tight right here. Chris has got to be uncomfortable.
That's just awesome gets by Rocky. Like you said, he's just moving.
He's just moving around the court like a gazelle, Sean. So, I mean, right now, if I was playing him, I'd be extremely frustrated also. And sometimes when you're a power player and you're playing a guy like Rocky that's getting everything, he takes you so far out of your game because now you start trying to hit the ball harder and harder, and now you're leaving it up off the back wall, and you're giving him more setups. But if I was Chris's coach right now, I'd be saying I need to see hit some more wide angles that hit the side wall deep in backcourt. I want to take a peek at that with our service cam.
That ball was called short, but I'm not sure.
Lost it in the glass.
Speaking of losing it in the glass, that's what happened there.
3-0.
Ooh, I don't know about that. Man, we got to look at that.
Let's go see the service cam. We do have linesmen here on the Pro Tour, which are on the short serve, so they're there only to call the ball if it's a short. They're not there to call it good. See, that's the pinch. That's the pinch I was talking about, Royster. That's the first pinch I think Chris won a rally with.
Yeah, Rocky was on his heels on that when he was backing up.
He was waiting to go down the line across court. Short serve.
Yeah, he got away with that because that was a bad serve.
Bad serve.
A good serve is if you would have let that bounce and then wallpaper all the way to the back of the court, but it actually nicked off the side wall and became a huge setup that he somehow got away with because Rocky missed the shot.
It's also the second rally he won by ending it with a pinch in the left corner.
Back to the drive serve, Chris Crowther. Yeah, that's sort of vintage Rocky Carson there. Barely coming off the back wall, and he hits that corner. He's done that quite a bit in his career.
Yeah, it's important when a ball comes off the back wall like that. You got to get really far behind the ball and then move into it and throw it. That's how he's able to generate that control and power off of those shots. But he killed that, Sean. He killed that ball.
Yeah.
You know, had he left it up, Rocky's all over it.
Watch Chris's head movement in this drive serve. Just not as intense as we've normally seen, but. Okay, so the reason for the pause there, just a hinder, but he's looking for what's called an avoidable hinder, which, why don't you explain to the fans at home what an avoidable hinder is?
Avoidable hinder is when the player on the court has an offensive opportunity deemed by the referee, where the referee says he could have won or ended the rally on the next shot, and somebody gets in the way, and there's a hinder when he doesn't think he could have ended the rally, and then the avoidable hinder would be a point to the person that didn't create the hinder.
A short serve from Rocky. Another point for Rocky Carson.
5-1.
Scores 5-1.
Yeah, Rocky's outscored Chris here since the beginning of the match, 16-2. I don't know, Chris doesn't seem to, he hasn't found that comfort level. He told me before the match he feels physically great. Now, sometimes athletes say that just to try to...
Yeah. I mean, watching the quarterfinal match, you could see a definite pain going on in Chris's back. He mentioned it, he held it, he stopped, took timeouts. I mean, I watched him in the 32s and the 16s, and there was some pain going on there. But he's going to take a timeout now, and we're going to take a little break ourselves. We'll be right back for more racquetball action here at the Target Center for the United Healthcare U.S. Open Racquetball Championship. Welcome back to the semifinals here. Rocky Carson dominating so far. Nothing's really changed much. Chris has had a bit of trouble getting into the flow, but let's talk about how these two players got here. It was the quarterfinals. Rocky Carson, who did he have to play?
Rocky Carson had Shane Vanderson in the quarterfinals, another veteran of the tour, number 7 ranked player in the world. They played a tough 4 games last night. Shane actually, I believe, won the second game. Rocky won the first, Shane won the second, and then Rocky closed out by winning the last 2. But it was a long match, and Shane really pushed him.
All right, let's do a little recap here of this men's pro draw at the United Healthcare U.S. Open. Exactly what you would see at any other sporting event. If you watch March Madness, the college hoops tournament, it's a bracket system. Generally, we start in the 64s, then go to the 32s, 16s, quarters, semifinals, and then you got your winner in the finals. Starting with Kane Wazelinchuk, top seed. He takes out everybody the way you would expect in 3 straight until he faced Tony Carson, who Tony beat him in game 2, 11-6. So that doesn't happen very often, but Tony Carson puts up a fight. Kane wins the next 2, 4-4, and he puts himself in the semis. Alex Ackerman, a great story here, comes in seeded 28th, but takes out the 5 seed Ben Croft, then has an amazing match against Anthony Herrera, takes him out, who's the 12 seed, and now he's got Alvaro Beltran. First time on the big stage, the TV cameras, the glass court, the crowd screaming and yelling. A little bit much for Ackerman to take. Beltran takes him out, 11-3, 11-3, 11-2. But a great run for Ackerman, and we're going to see more of him for sure. Now the match with Crowther and De La Rosa, packed house, everybody in attendance. There were other pros sitting courtside watching this match. And Crowther and De La Rosa go 5 games, the tiebreaker, and somehow Crowther pulls this thing out. You could see him grabbing his back. He was injured. But I'm telling you, De La Rosa put up a fight, and there was that moment where you thought, could this really happen again? 2 big wins for De La Rosa in this amazing U.S. Open draw. But Crowther got him and shows that the veteran can come through in the end. The Vanderson-Rocky match is never really a blowout. These two have played each other since the juniors, and Rocky Carson definitely more prepared for this, physically fit. Vanderson gets a game, but then Rocky beats Shane 11-7 in the end. Not too shocked to see these 4 names in the semifinals. Wazelinchuk, Beltran, Crowther, and Carson. You can count on amazing matches. These guys are not afraid to go to battle. No stranger to this big stage. When you come to see a professional tournament, these are the 4 names you want to watch. I'm excited about it. This is the pro draw at the U.S. Open.
Chris had a great 5-gamer quarterfinal match against a young up-and-comer, Daniel De La Rosa out of Mexico. They did go 5 games. Chris was down 2 games to 1. Actually came back and fought through a couple of those nagging little back injuries and pulled it out.
You know, so there's got to be a factor involved in having an easier quarterfinal match. Easier in the sense that it was easier to win versus having, you got 3 games versus having somebody who goes on a barn burner tiebreaker. They got, you know, they both have to get back in the hotel, get prepared for the next. But you got to think, Chris has had a bit more of a battle to get here.
Absolutely. I mean, you know, any athlete would love to spend less time on the court and keep moving through the draw and beating your opponents, and this way you're ready, you're fresh as can be. Chris definitely has worked a lot harder to get here. Not that Rocky hasn't, but, you know, Chris going 5 games last night really took a lot out of him, I think. Lost it in the light right there.
Eight serving 1. Rocky Carson sticking with the game plan.
His footwork is way off right now, but I can tell you it's definitely he's having issues right now with the glass. Rocky's serving the ball well, too.
Yeah, he
Hitting
is.
the ball real hard. Good angles.
It's a good shot by Chris Crowther. The thing I like about Rocky's serve is that he's got different speeds with that drive serve. A lot of players who just come out, like you'll see Kane. I mean, Kane just brings fire, you know, and Cliff always did that.
When he needs to.
Yeah, but there's something about Rocky's different speeds and cuts and things that he's doing a
Angles.
little different. Yeah.
He could get a little bit of that from the outdoor game also.
Rocky gave him a couple chances there. He took a shot that I thought was a little low percentage. Crowther took that out of the air, but again got away with it.
It was, and actually the shot he hit, you know, if he doesn't roll it like he did, it comes right back to Rocky. So, you know, but that's a couple points he's won with pin shots. At this point, I don't know if he has the time in game 2 to make the adjustment, being down 9-1. It's got to be about the first or second one I've seen Rocky miss. Actually, let me look at the stats. That's a second shot unforced error Rocky's had in 2 games.
Wow. Yeah, that's pretty flawless racquetball. I mean, this is a game where mistakes just happen, and for him to be playing at this high percentage, it's
he's going to be tough to beat.
And the results are in the score. You know, he's been dominating. So he's
just hit
couple
Chris
errors
there.
here in a row.
Just hit Chris with the ball there. They're going to replay it. If you hit your opponent with the ball in the rally, just play it again. Basically a do-over, like back in the day when we were in the schoolyard.
The good old do-overs on the playground. Nice
Chris
flick of the wrist there from Rocky Carson.
Shot selection right there was off. He went right back at Rocky. Rocky's got those great hands, and he just re-killed it.
WolfMan, right where that curve is. That was good. Right behind it.
Ooh, just out of the reach.
That's 3 touchdowns right now. It's 21-3 total.
10-2.
Another game point for Rocky Carson. This will put him up 2 games to 0. And it'll be a tough hole to climb out of for Chris. It's a good shot. Two serving 10. Chris Crowther coming with the drive serve. Watch the head movement.
Keeping it pretty steady.
Yeah, he's actually worked on that. I used to point that out back in the day, but I think he mentioned to me he's trying to work on that, and you can definitely see the difference.
Yeah, you want to. I mean, all that head jerking and head movement, you're going to lose control, some power. Most importantly, probably control, though. He used to really whip his head around, almost like he gave himself
that's what I was
whiplash
looking for.
There it was a little bit. He got Rocky there, caught him off balance a little bit.
4-10.
Skip ball. Another opportunity for Rocky Carson to close out this game, too. Game point for Rocky Carson, 10-4. Good serve. There's the setup. Right down the line, and that's it. Game 2 in the can. Rocky Carson leads the series 2-0. We'll be right back for more exciting racquetball action here at the United Healthcare U.S. Open Racquetball Championship. Here we are, semifinals. Rocky Carson dominating this match so far, Sudsy. I mean, it's 2-0. The crowd's still kind of pushing for a good match here. You see them screaming and yelling and jumping around. I mean, they love racquetball.
Yeah, the crowd wants, everybody wants. They want Chris to really dig in here, dig deep, and lay it all out there and see if he can make a comeback. It's going to be a tough task. I mean, being down 2-0 against anybody in our sport is tough to come back from, but especially against number 2
I mean, when he's
player
hitting shots off the heels and just everything's working, it's tough to play against that.
Rocky looks good. Rocky's going to start thinking about the finals, actually, if he runs off a couple points here.
22-5. It's really
that's a big number. That's not very balanced. Rocky was on it. He just didn't get a clean swing on it.
I'd like to see Crowther put up a fight here and see if he can get a game. I'm not sure how he's going to do that because it seems like everything he's tried, Rocky has had an answer for, Sudsy.
Rocky does. Rocky's playing great today. He's having a great day.
That is so tough. Straight down the line, overhead.
Great control, great placement, perfect speed.
Short serve.
Clearly short. That's a good call by Charlie Pratt, the head referee for the IOT. He is the best referee the pros have ever had. The man knows the game. You have to know the game also to ref, Sean.
Absolutely. Yeah, he's really good at this. I mean, especially with dealing with the attitudes and personalities on these courts, with these pros and people screaming, yelling at him, tell him how bad he is. And I mean, at the end of the day, you just got to stay focused.
Yeah,
he's
he does.
great at not getting emotional
Well,
about
he demands respect and takes control. Any good referee or official takes control of the situation, and Charlie does that. And Charlie does a real good job at that, and I think the players respect him, and that's why you don't see too much bickering right now.
If Rocky loses this rally, he's going to look for that 2 bounce call, I'm thinking. But there's the setup. Another setup. Ooh. See the court positioning and how he demands it? He's like a basketball player will box another player out. You see Rocky doing that to push him out of the way to give him more of a shot on the line.
Yeah, I mean, you can't physically manhandle your opponent, but there is a way to, impose your will and kind of position, like you said, like a box out. And Rocky's doing a great job at that. And what Rocky did in that match was textbook pro racquetball. It's kind of like the way I played my whole career. He set up that entire point with going down the line, down the line, down the line. It's a great job by Rocky. That's a great shot by
Good
Chris.
shot.
He took a backhand from up at his shoulders. He brought it down and hit it flat, and he won the rally. 0-2. He's just trying to, weather the storm, I guess, right now here, Rocky.
It's just perfect answers for stuff that, I mean, he's bringing everything he's got. Chris Crowther's bringing it, and Rocky's just got answers.
Rocky's taking it.
It's just incredible.
Well, I'll tell you what, I mean, if Rocky does if we have a Kane and Rocky final, #1, #2 player in the world, Rocky's going to have to be at an even higher level than he is right now.
Yeah, he is, and he's looking sharp, so I think that'll be interesting to see.
I will be the greatest player to ever play the game. I haven't played this game for 22 years just to say that it's my hobby. Right. Racquetball's been my life, and this is something that I've wanted, ever since I was about 7 years old. I still remember like it's yesterday going to Junior World Championships, and not even realizing that this is where I would be, and to have the success that I've had in such a short time is unbelievable. And I've had a lot of obstacles to overcome, and you always set a goal, but always you're gonna have some obstacles that you're gonna have to be strong and get through. And fortunately for me, I've had a real strong will, and I've wanted to get through it and let nothing stop me.
In every sport, there's always the best. There's the #1 player in the world. Then there's the greatest of all time. In the sport of racquetball, the legendary names are Marty Hogan, Mike Yellen, Cliff Swain, Sudsy Monchik. These four names are constantly brought up in the conversation of who is the greatest. Marty Hogan changed the game from a tactical ceiling ball, wide angle pass style game to power, trying to hit the ball as low as possible, as hard as you can. He was on mainstream media, the ABC World All-Stars, against other professional athletes, and he came in second, showing how tough racquetball is and how good of an athlete you have to be to play this game. During that reign, Mike Yellen came on tour and was the first one and only one to challenge Marty Hogan in his prime. Mike Yellen, took 5 world titles as well. Then Cliff Swain came on the scene. Cliff Swain beats Mike Yellen, beats Marty Hogan, beats everybody else on tour, and then goes on a run for 20+ years, dominating.
I just love all sports. I don't know why. Ever since I was a kid, I just knew that this is how I was going to make my living. This is what I was going to do for my life. I just want to have fun and be the best I can at it.
During that career of Cliff Swain, there was a kid named Sudsy Monchik who came in for about 5 years. That short period of time, many say nobody's ever seen racquetball played at the level that Sudsy Monchik played. Sudsy dominated everybody, including Cliff, during that time. The names you constantly hear in this conversation that hold the 5 world titles: Marty Hogan, Mike Yellen, Sudsy Monchik. Cliff Swain has 6 world titles. But the current game is owned by one guy, Kane Wazelinchuk, out of Alberta, Canada. What he has done is recently surpassed Cliff Swain with winning 7 world titles. He is currently holding a streak that nobody in any sport has ever touched. Cliff Swain, no question, the best player of all time. Fire. And now you see how good Kane really is.
Unbelievable shot there by Kane. I can assure you Cliff has never had this feeling on the court, this feeling of helplessness. I can see this match getting away from Cliff quickly.
Kane Wazelinchuk has come into this match with an agenda. Kane spoke to us earlier. He said he wanted to send a message. Believes he's the best player of all time. Can you argue with him?
Yeah, the first time I saw him, he played more like I play than anybody I've ever seen play.
There is nobody that I'm afraid of. I'm here to stay.
As confident as you are sometimes, I think when that first gets rattled, that can be shocking.
Him having 6 world titles, that means nothing to me.
Look at that.
I'm still gonna surpass him. I'm still gonna beat his record.
This might be it. Cain Wazelinchuk signs the glass.
I will be the greatest player to ever play the game.
Whether it's a forfeit or a match that you show up for, the record books just say wins and losses. But I'm going to tell you the story. Cain was on a 24-match unbeaten streak. His last defeat was February 26, 2012 at the San Diego Open, round of 16. But that was a forfeit to Alejandro Landa that he never stepped on the court to play. Prior to that, he had forfeited the finals of the Long Island event on January 15, 2012, losing to Rocky Carson in the record books. But again, a forfeit. Never played that match.
I still feel I'm the #1 player. I missed 2 tournaments early in the year, this past year, so it's not like the #1 made it there, but he didn't beat the best, so that's just how I feel. And I'm a strong believer in you can't worry about things you have no control over, and one thing they can't take away from me is my talent. So I can just go out there and play my game, be the best that I can be, and hopefully everything falls in place.
So not counting these forfeits or any no-shows, the last time Cain Wazelinchuk was defeated on the court was January 11, 2009 in Canoga Park to Alvaro Beltran. So this equates to a non-injury, non-forfeiting winning streak of an astounding 158 matches from January 18, 2009 to October 2012, the Beltran match that we're about to see here on the Tennis Channel. Heading into this Beltran match, Cain's career record stands at 348 to 42, a winning percentage of .892. This percentage does count the losses and the forfeits. So by way of comparison, the next best career winning percentage on tour belongs to Marty Hogan, who was 506 to 92 in the sanctioned IRT events with a winning percentage of .846. Marty Hogan would have had to win 200 more consecutive matches in his career to match Cain's current professional winning streak. So Cain missed 13 tournaments in the 06-07 season and 14 tournaments in the 07-08 while on suspension. This equates to roughly 56 matches that he missed in the 06-07 and 59 matches in the 07-08 season. So if we took out the 3 tournaments that he forfeited, he's won 35 consecutive racquetball tournaments on tour. The only player in professional history to hold a winning record against Cain Wazelinchuk is John Ellis, who beat him 2 of 3 times in 2001 and 2002 during Cain's early career. Cain won the 7th professional racquetball tournament that he entered, matching Cliff Swain and Sudsy Monchik for the fastest debut tournament win. Probably the most amazing stat that we know about Cain is that he only lost 3 games the entire 09 to 2010 season. 3 games. You know you got to play 3 games out of 5 in a match. He only lost 3 games the entire season. Cain's head-to-head record entering the semis against the rest of the best: Beltran 25-4, Rocky 42-2, Croft 11-0, Rojas 12-0. If you count forfeits as losses, which the record books do, Cain's best consecutive winning streak is at 81 games. He then started another streak of 53 games, January 23, 2011, all the way to his injury forfeit loss to Rocky in the finals in New York on January 15, 2012. 12 of Cain's career 42 losses involve forfeits of some sort, either no-shows or injuries, highlighting how dominant Cain really is when he steps on the court to play.
I'm always enjoying myself every day that I can wake up and be out there. I enjoy it. I mean, this game's been my life. So to to be at the level that I am and play the great players that I've played, even in the past and even now, is truly an honor.
Another good shot from the backhand, Chris Crowther.
Yeah, ball stayed down. He didn't try to overhit. He just tried to kill it. He did. And
ooh. Rocky looked outside to see if anybody else thought that was two. He's still asking him.
it's a good way to get involved with the crowd. Obviously, that the crowd doesn't make the call, but mentally he wants to know. And he also hopes that the referee kind of takes.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, he was actually looking at the side ref there. He wasn't looking at the crowd. He was looking at the side ref to see if he actually could get a nod. But Chris Crowther, first point on the board here in Game 3.
Rocky's he's so smooth right now, and he's in total control, which just tells me he's completely relaxed. He's in a good place right now, Rocky. He's at peace with the situation. He's embracing the semifinals of the United Healthcare U.S. Open Racquetball Championships.
It's interesting you mentioned the word peace. You know, you think the demeanor of a pro racquetball player in this type of situation, do you think it's better to be yoga-esque with the peace, or do you think it's going out there in a murderous rage?
Well, you know what? It depends, actually, Sean. That's a great question. Depending on the personality of the player, your opponent in the moment, you know, I like to be even. I like a little balance. I like to be right down the middle. As the pressure rises, you slow it down. Things become more clear. Rocky's actually in that place. You know, I had a real good conversation with Rocky before the match. And he seems to be real level-headed right now. He knows what he's trying to do. He knows how he's trying to go about it. And with that, he's not letting really anything get in his way or affect him. And he's just going to take his approach, and he's going to go at it. And whatever you throw at him, I'll figure it out.
It's a great diving get by Rocky Carson, but Chris Crowther stayed with it. Had a nice backhand from up shoulder height. And to Chris's shoulder, it's much higher than the average.
It's about a two-story building out there.
It really is.
Ooh.
So what was called there, Suds?
He called a short, but I'm going to tell you why it was short, even though I acted like I didn't think it was. You know, we have a different angle than the two side referees who are also professionals. They called it short as well as Charlie. So that's 2 or 3 against 1.
So another addition to the game of racquetball are these sideline judges, Sudsy. And they have the power to actually step in and make a call.
Correct.
So that Charlie doesn't have to do this all by himself. It's a tough game to officiate, probably one of the toughest in professional sports.
Ball's moving in excess of 180 miles per hour, 2 inches off the ground. You have 2 big bodies out there, great athletes running around. It's tough to see. You know, the side linesman can only make a... Oh, that's a good shot. They can't call a serve or a ball good. They can only say it was bad.
Better shots from Chris Crowther here in Game 3. It's a little tighter in the score, 3-2, which is what Crowther's looking for. Stay in this.
Well, also this is, you know, Rocky's trying to close it out as well, so he's starting to feel that, thinking about trying to get to the U.S. Open finals.
Charlie, I didn't even take a shot.
Listen to Chris. Talking to Charlie about saying he didn't take his shot, he didn't swing because of the hinder.
And, you know, when calls like that happen, it makes the next rally, the next chance you have, you got to take a swing, which could be dangerous for the opponent. You know, at the end of the day, you got to keep swinging. Because you're going to lose calls, you're going to lose points because of it.
Yeah,
and
I mean,
it's a dangerous sport in that respect.
It gets crowded out there for sure, Sean. But, you know, as a pro, you have to know when to and when not to swing. You're not looking to hurt anybody. You know, sometimes you're also looking for that call. Rocky's he's definitely focused, but he's not playing the same or at the same level. He's missed a few shots here in game 3, probably equal to what he missed in both the first 2 games. He needs to just keep pounding, play his game style, but hit shots. He's skipping the ball now, which he didn't do the first 2 games.
Nice get. Got a crack there and got away with it. All tied up here, 3 serving 3.
And just like tennis, you know, we play 3 out of 5 games here. If Chris could pull out this game, you never know what could happen.
Putting his hands on him, pushing him around a little bit.
It's like right now Rocky's kind of drawing his own map. He's deciding, he's dictating every rally and every point. You know, it's 3-3, but Rocky's really truly in control of the rallies, and he's running Chris around. And Rocky's just kind of staying in center court and saying, this is my house, and I'll let you know if you could have a couple points or come in. Chris is winning. I mean, he's absolutely won way more points in the 3rd game here than he did in both the first 2. You know, so I think it's just a matter of Rocky making that adjustment, going back to his same
winning more
approach.
rallies. Yeah,
he's winning more rallies.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he really is. Now he's got to get some points on the board and win those rallies while he's serving. And now that he is coming at it with the drive service, see if he can do something here. That same drive serve coming off the back wall with the 1 bounce, side wall, back wall setup. I mean, he's aiming for that corner. Obviously a little lower would be a good thing. And also if that ball can bounce off the back wall and hit that back wall before it hits the side wall so it shoots straight out, that would be more effective.
Yeah, very much so. You never want to really clip. It's kind of like a major league pitcher. You know, if you're hitting, no matter how hard you hit it, if it comes off the back wall, it slows down. Now it's a setup for your opponent. So you're trying to just go straight in and straight back.
Wait, explain the major league pitcher analogy one more time so I'm clear.
Well, what happens is when a major league pitcher, if he has a 100-mile-per-hour fastball, but he just throws a flat 100-mile-per-hour fastball, you know, you're going to catch up to it. You're going to hit it.
Right.
So no matter how hard Chris is hitting it, if he's going to hit it and it's going to come off the back wall, then it's a setup.
Gotcha. There's a point for Rocky Carson.
That shot is called a splat, but that was kind of in between a splat and a pinch, wasn't it, John? A pinch shot catches the side wall about 5 feet back from the front wall. A splat shot actually hits the side wall about 30 feet back and then hits the front wall and kind of goes off to the side.
Rocky takes a lead. Chris takes a timeout. We're going to be right back here at the Target Center for more U.S. Open Racquetball Championship. All right, welcome back. It's 5-3, Rocky Carson in the semifinals here. Leads the series 2-0, and this is game 3. If he closes this out, 6 more points, then he is in the finals. Good
shot
Again,
by
Chris is
Crowther.
winning more rallies, but I tell you what, off that timeout, Sean, I see that Rocky's changed his tempo and approach. Looked like he's actually raised his level or his energy level here for the second part of this game, kind of try to close it out and get into the finals.
Four serving 5. He's looking for a hinder there, Suds. I don't know. What'd you think?
Now the ball was down. Rocky killed the ball. And Chris maybe didn't see it. He might have lost it for a second, but Charlie Pratt, the referee, is 100% correct. That wasn't a hinder. If the ball was up, I might have said so, but the ball was down. He wasn't getting that either way.
What? Charlie, it's like 3 feet. 3 feet, literally. 3 feet. 3 feet, literally.
I don't know what just happened.
It was like 3 feet short.
Oh, wow. So what happened was...
Hey, Rocky played it over. Which doesn't happen very often. It was a bad call. He, you can hear him talking there. The ball was short. The ref called it good. The line judge could not make a call because somebody was walking in front of him. So therefore the call was standing to a point. Rocky actually made the call to play it over, which, again, that was his choice and doesn't happen very often in the pro game. Look at these big angles. Just getting the full geometry of the
They just
the
covered
sport.
every part of the court.
6-4.
You know, what do you think about that, Sean? I mean, I was on the court, and, you know, I played, and I'm doing it for my career and a living. You know, and the fact that Rocky played that again, I thought it was real nice. I would like him to do it against me. I honestly don't know if I would.
Yeah, no, I
do
mean,
it for
it's
him.
tough at this level. You know, you just, refs are making calls. They're gonna be bad. Calls are gonna be bad. It's just,
Missing
it's really
calls,
tough
yeah.
to just give it up like that. But I mean, all
nice of
props to Rocky to do that.
Yeah.
It also helps when you're dominating like this to do that. I'm not sure if he was losing the match, he was down 0-2, and he was down 4-7. Would he have given that same? You know, it's just tough to know. It's really it was a nice gesture.
I actually asked him that question before the match. I said, you know, would you give up a call if it was 10-10 in the 5th, you know, and you were serving for championship of the U.S. Open here? And he tells me he would. So how nice would that be? To see
Yeah,
a 10-10, he's serving, and a questionable call goes the other way. I say he would do it.
Yeah, Rocky's one of those guys. Good. One of the good guys.
Well, let me ask you this. I mean, why don't we see it?
game.
What's different? Why is it okay then that, you know, it's being done out here, but, you know, I didn't see Roger Federer or Rafael Nadal or Novak tell the linesman or the ump, hey guys, no, that was in, or that
They're
was
never
out.
doing that.
Yeah, I guess I'm torn. I'm up in the air with that.
Yeah.
But again, hats off to Rocky for that.
I mean, my opinion of the whole thing is that players at a professional level just need to play their game. If refs are going to make calls, they're going to make good and bad calls, and you just deal with it, whether he's looking for an avoidable there.
Right, and it was. So why doesn't Chris say, "Hey, that was unavoidable. Give Rocky the point"?
Yeah, right.
No, it's tough.
It's just
tough
not
one.
his place to make calls. So you're just gonna have to deal with the good and bad, deal with the crowd booing you if you know whatever. At the end of the day, it's refs making calls. And you just gotta deal with the balance of good and bad.
Seven, 4.
Oh. Oh. Rocky doesn't like it. I don't either.
Now,
Crowd screaming it was perfect. Ref makes that call. Rocky doesn't like it.
The camera in the way. Did you call it, Charlie? Did you call it?
Looking for a replay hinder.
it was. That ball was up. The second bounce was at Chris's legs. That's the difference between the one that we talked about before and that one. That ball was left up, and Rocky absolutely would have got it, especially the way he's moving around the court these days.
7, 4.
Seven, 4.
Rocky looking like he's going to go to drives either back, and he does. Coming down.
Yeah. It's automatic for Rocky right now. Anything left up, Rocky's going to put it down.
8, 4.
I'll tell you, I really think that 5-game match yesterday in the quarterfinals took a toll on Christopher Crowther. That is starting to show.
Yeah, I think it is. Wow, that was a pretty good serve.
It's a good serve.
You know, with that Z serve, you're trying to get it to hit that side wall so it comes parallel with the back wall.
Right.
That was pretty close to try to jam Chris Crowther, but he stayed with it and hit a perfect shot down the left side.
Well, here's what happened there, folks. Rocky held up and did not even swing, did not even attempt to take the shot. And Charlie said, play it again. The reason that's a dangerous move on Rocky's part is because if Charlie didn't see the hinder, he would have lost that point. Rocky serving at 9-4 here in the third game, trying to close it out to get to the finals again at the U.S. Open. Rocky did win this event in 2007.
Nice reach. This is another huge setup for Rocky. Ooh.
Ooh.
2-2-2. 10-4.
That was the worst one.
All right, match point here, Rocky Carson. He wins this point, he is in the finals. And ends it with an ace serve, ladies and gentlemen. An exciting match. A great match here. Rocky Carson takes it. He is in the finals of the U.S. Open. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching this show. All you tennis fans here on the Tennis Channel, thanks for tuning in to Racquetball. For myself, Sudsy Monchik, thank you so much for watching.
Thank you, guys.
All right,
Hope you had a great Thanksgiving, too.
Tune in for further matches and further shows on the Tennis Channel, folks.